Hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Think Tank. Today I want to focus on an article that I've been reading recently in one of the mainstream magazines, and it talks about our jobs being sent overseas, predominantly shedding light on the manufacturing jobs, so it seems. And the article talks about workers feeling despondent. Everyone in places like London and Los Angeles is competing with smart applicants from Bangalore or Shanghai, talking about India and China, of course, who are willing to work long hours for a pittance. Then there are 2.5 billion people in those two Asian giants combined. How can anyone's job be safe? Now, of course, they work for much less. And of course, the way the currencies are set up, the devaluation of their currencies and our stronger currencies, which is how companies are exporting jobs and get cheaper labor, and as a result of that, they can in turn produce those goods and send them back here, and we can get good prices. But, the flip side to that, the problem is that our jobs, our manufacturing jobs, are being ravaged. I mean, in the month of May, the report came out that the United States in the month of May alone lost 5,000 manufacturing jobs. That's just in 1 month. And we've been losing manufacturing jobs for a very, very long time right now. So basically, the article talks about it sheds like a silver lining to this thing. Imagine losing jobs and there's supposed to be a silver lining to this. And it writes here, yet there's another way of looking at the great shift of economic power to the east. One is much less scary and perhaps even inspiring. Those 2.5 billion people are getting richer by the day. This represents an unprecedented opportunity for the workers of the world. So losing your job is an opportunity. So interesting. So I continue reading. 30 years ago, the average person in China and India could afford almost nothing beyond basic food and other simple necessities of life. But now, it writes further, hundreds of millions of Chinese and Indians can now splurge on Sony LCD TVs, Australian steaks, and Apple iPhones. So their standard of living, obviously, is moving up exponentially. So these countries, which are predominantly producer countries, are now becoming very big consumer nations. Now, so where's the opportunity for us? And then it moves on to say last year that Indians and the Chinese bought 70% more than Americans did as far as new passenger vehicles. I'm sure these cars are not the ones built in this country. They're probably mostly cars built somewhere else, so I don't see how that's good news. And then it says this new bonanza for consumer goods increases demand for copper, cotton, and other natural resources. So I guess, referring that we're going to create natural resources and give it to them, and they'll use those natural resources to produce all these goods. So we can make money off the natural resources, and it says the ships and trucks to transport them and the people to design and sell them. So result in higher sales, bigger profits for companies such as Boeing. How is Boeing going to make money? I mean, they produce goods here, and they produce goods, send them here, and then what do we ship back to them? Federal Reserve notes? I mean, it's trading paper for goods. That's what's happening. We have these huge trade deficits. I don't see how Boeing can make money unless he was referring that they're going to ship raw materials by plane. I don't know about that, but so here it says, finally, the newly rich of China and India, listen to this, are also bringing their money right to your doorstep. Their citizens are becoming active tourists. So he's talking about the tourism industry, filling hotel rooms and dining out in Times Square and Tokyo's Ginza. Times Square, so, okay, that's America. Now wait a minute. Tourism is the trade-off for shedding thousands and thousands of manufacturing jobs? Tourism? In the 1950s, Detroit was considered a model city. If you look at Detroit now, it looks like a graveyard. When places shed their economy, when they lose jobs, when a manufacturing economy goes into decline, especially within a city, that city goes into a decline. The tax base is gone. There's nothing surrounding the city. People move out to look for work. So there's not going to be a future in tourism for many American cities if they don't keep their economy in order, if they don't keep their manufacturing jobs. So I don't understand the strategy of saying, well, the trade-off for losing the jobs is we're going to have tourism. I mean, I don't understand that. And then, it moves on to say that the advance of China and India demand an overhaul in the way we think about jobs. I don't understand this. I mean, this is incredible. You know, you're talking about the destruction of a manufacturing industry in this country. I mean, we're shedding manufacturing jobs like crazy, like water. And they're trying to look for a silver lining. Not just what I'm reading over here. This is what it seems to be the case in the mainstream media. You know, they seem to be talking about this all the time. You know, they're running this synthetic economy, which is based on cheap money and low interest rates. And as it expands, jobs are created based on this illusion that we have right here. What's real, the point that's really being missed here is the fact that it seems to go over the head of the people that write this stuff, is that their economy is getting stronger. This is not good news for us. It's bad news for us, because if their economy gets stronger, their currency is going to rise. They have increased buying power, consuming power. That means that their currency rises. If their currency rises, our currency falls in relation to that. And jobs being sent over there, as far as to get lower labor costs, are not going to work as much. Our prices are going to rise here, and our consuming ability in this country is going to dramatically go down. So not only are we losing the jobs, you know, consumers are going to get hurt too, because they're going to have to pay more for products, goods, and services. I mean, it's just incredibly goofy. Instead of looking at the problem, which is the loss of manufacturing jobs, I mean, they're looking for silver linings, which don't have even a close of a ratio to make up for the loss of economic development, of manufacturing jobs. I mean, you know, it's as if you have a car that's broken down, that's falling apart, right? And you know, you're breaking down all the time, and the silver lining is that you have to get out of your car and push it all the time. So hey, you know, I'm getting exercise. It's healthy for my body, so I'm pushing the car. I mean, that's not the solution. You got to get another car, you know? And it's as if, you know, somebody has an illness, they're really sick, right? And instead of looking for a cure and getting better, you're saying, well, you know, this sickness is making me, I mean, it's as if somebody is sick, right? And they have a really bad illness, and this illness is causing them to lose weight. So instead of looking for a cure to get rid of the illness and stop feeling miserable all the time, the person says, well, you know, the silver lining is I'm losing weight, so I'll remain sick, and this way, you know, I'll keep my weight down. I mean, that's exactly what's happening over here. You know, there's a problem here. The economy is shedding all kinds of manufacturing jobs instead of keeping these jobs and opening up factories, creating things, having a strong currency, raising rates, making our money stronger, having sound money, right? Putting people back to work again, producing our own goods. What do? Instead of that, you know, it says, look, you know, the jobs can continue to go. There's a silver lining, and we'll be able to benefit off tourism, all right? So I just really don't understand this whole thing. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense at all. It's just going to get worse and worse unless people just really wake up and see what's really happening over here. So I would like your perspective as well. Feel free to leave comments below this video, rate this video, and subscribe, and thank you for tuning in.